y'all would be running me up a flagpole. If it had came out that I was looking up these women addresses and I was doxing them, and I was doing it. And see, me and Uchi got into it, but that was two men, right? If I had done this to some women, y'all would have ran me up a flagpole and ran me off this goddamn app. But you know what? Y'all don't give a fuck because it's a nigga. Right? Y'all don't get you mad because you got shit going on. They mad because they got shit going on. So y'all don't give a fuck about what a nigga. Shut your ass up. I don't give a fuck. Shut your ass up, Erica.
I ain't got shit going on, motherfucker.
You shut your ass up.
Who got shit going on? This ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm just talking.
This was dropped in my lap. Okay.
Listen, and they play it in your face, and you sat y'all. You answered me to let them play in my face. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Drop your mammy cupcake. Drop your mammy cupcake. That's what you do, bitch. Talking about drop him. Drop your mammy.
Now, why you gotta disrespect? Yeah, why y'all gotta be?
Because if they gonna disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect them.
Oh my god.
That's the way this go.
So what was you coming up to prove? What was you coming up? You was coming up to tell me that they played in my face.
You said you needed to talk to me
because you the one that was in the request.
That was a long time ago.
Okay, so
that was a long time ago.
But you still streaming. I done been over in your live, and then you done been on Mad Cow Live.
I'm streaming like a motherfucker. Because my chat need to hear that I was right once again. Everything that came out, and I knew Private and Lunatic. Lunatic is Vigilante. That's Lunatic.
Why do you think that?
It is because Private and Carrie are the only ones that I had that conversation with about some video or whatever, right? Private and Carrie,
yeah,
right? Just hang tight a tick or two. Mm-hmm. Private and Carrie are the only ones that I. Damn it! Hold up, my stream stopped.
Your chat tired of hearing your goddamn mouth.
Hold up, y'all. Hang tight a tick or two.
Lord, I'm acting like my mama. The hell?
And some shit like that. Yeah. See, so Private and Carrie are the only ones that I had a conversation with, right? Mm-hmm. Private and Carrie. Carrie emphatically said in front of Noonie, and Noonie corroborated the fact that she never had a conversation with Lunatic. That she never had a conversation with Lunatic. So the only other person that it would leave would be Private. So Private said something to Noonie. Lunatic went to Sumu as Vigilante and said, "Look, I blah 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 blah. There's a video and blah 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 blah." And so Lunatic is the one that went to Sumu and said something about the video altogether because Private said something to her about knowledge of the video. That's how I know that Vigilante is Lunatic.
So let me ask you this. Who do you think they protecting?
Private. See, because private is the one that comes off as the one that, I just want peace. I just wanted everybody to get along. I was trying to be the peacemaker, but no, she's not. She's always the one that's in the middle. She's always the one receiving the message, sending the message in the middle of conversations. Shari might have been in it. It might have included anointed one and those, but private is always the nucleus. Private is always the nucleus. Private is the one that was corresponding with other people on the back end to strike my platform right before I kicked their ass the fuck up out of here. Because I had a conversation with her on the phone, and she said, "Well, Kev, there are people in the band that were saying that they were going to strike the platform." I said, "Private, you had that kind of conversation on the back end." And about striking my platform, and you ain't said nothing to me, or blah 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 blah. So she's the one that told me about that, right? So that let me know right there. She's the one that orchestrated that conversation. Private is the one that's always in the middle of it. Private is the one she's the nucleus of it all. She's the one that sits back because she got the little squeaky ass Fonzie voice and some shit like that. So everybody takes for granted that she's telling, because she be squeaking when she talk. So because she squeak when she talk, everybody thinks she telling the truth when she be the main one telling the goddamn lie. It's that pretty privilege shit. Because see, a lot of these ugly bitches don't know nothing about pretty privilege, so they fall for any goddamn thing. So when you're a little bit cute, you can get away with a lot of lies, a lot more lies. Ugly bitches don't get away with lies. An ugly bitch telling the truth when an ugly bitch lie. You know an ugly bitch lying when she lie. But a pretty woman, you willing to give her, a little bit more leeway and think that she's telling the truth and shit like that and some shit like that because she's pretty. God's child, shut your ass up. I didn't ask you shit. You on mute.
So, what? Hold on. So all of this is because of pretty privilege. And
no,
you
what I'm
think
saying to you, what I'm saying to you is it's all because of y'all's naivete, right? You got to
you think I'm
understand
naive,
how
Kev?
people. Yeah, I think that I don't think that you understand how people manipulate you in conversation by saying irrelevant things based off of the question that you asked her. Right? You asked her a lot of direct questions, and in those questions, she did the same thing to Sumu when Sumu did the breaking news bullshit, and then Sumu went back and listened to it. With what you say with new ears, and whatever the fuck you got with good ears now, and so Sumu went back with it, and so when Sumu did the recap, Sumu was hearing all the shit that I was calling out before Sumu even went back and heard all the shit. See, when you listen to it with new ears, you hear shit that you didn't hear before.
So, Kev, you know, my mom always has told me, "Oh shit, I ain't sleeping. I'll goodbye ain't gone."
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time. I've been drinking and smoking.
Clearly, my mother has always told me, "Oh shut, I ain't sleep, and I'll goodbye ain't gone." And I've taken that saying with me all my life.
You know
So
what my goddad told me. My foster dad used to tell me,
you better not
if
be.
something don't make sense, it's not true. Either somebody is lying or they are leaving something out.
Hey, Shari.
If something don't make sense, somebody is lying. It's not true. Either somebody is lying or they are leaving something out. When you figure out what they lying about or what they leaving out and add that to it, now everything makes sense.
Okay.
They all of them are part of it. I don't give a damn if it's Shari. Shari ought to be ashamed of herself. She ought to be ashamed of herself. She's mad at Braid King about saying something about her son, but she come in my comments doxing my son, right? Yeah, she didn't talk back shit. Because she said I talk shit about her son or her relationship and this, that, and the other. First of all, I didn't say nothing about her son. I said something about her and her baby daddy. That's what I said something about. But then so she tried to justify that and by saying that that's the reason why she doxed my son, and she tried to because I went over to her live because you wouldn't bring me up over here.
Oh, Shari was live?
She was over there. No, I went over there to Mad Cow's live. She was over there at Mad Cow's live.
Oh.
And so I went over there.
But I can only
So
bring
now
two people up at a time, and I wanted to hear ladies first.
And see, now
Because it was sent to
now
me.
it's Lunatic and Shari. Now it's Lunatic and Shari and Private and Carrie. I knew.
Well, it
knew
sounds
was
like
gonna
they
all
all
come out.
have ousted. They all have ousted Shari.
Because Shari's the easier target. Shari's the one that hasn't been around as long, so she's expendable.
But she know a
Shari
lot.
is expendable. They don't give a fuck about Shari. They have more of a camaraderie amongst themselves than the Shari is the outsider. They see her as the outsider. They don't give a fuck how she feel. They don't give a fuck what she think or none of that shit. So Shari is insignificant to them. She really is in the grand scheme of things. Shari is a wannabe. She's a follower. Shari doesn't think for herself. She doesn't have a mind of her own. She blows with the wind. She's like tumbleweed. Whatever way the wind is blowing, that's the direction Shari ass is gonna fucking go. And they strung her ass along. Carrie, Private, and Lunatic are the stronger of the four. And when it comes to Carrie, Lunatic, and Private, Carrie is the weaker of those three. Carrie is the weaker of those three. Even though she tries to come off
I
as
don't
being
agree.
the stronger one, you disagree? That explains it. That explains it. See, that's because I know more of the intricacies than you do. I know more of the details behind it than you do. I know, they were over. You got to remember, all of them were over here in the bando. So I know all of them. I know all of their personalities. I know how all of them move. Every single one of them were in the bando, and they didn't leave the bando. I kicked their ass the fuck out. Let's get that understood. They did not leave
Hold
the
on,
bando.
Kev.
They got kicked the
Shari
fuck
and
out of there.
Noonie are on Susu's panel.
I spoke to her for like 3 hours on the phone when her and Noonie first had an issue. And
Okay. Oh, so she reached out to you for comfort because her and Noonie were having their issues. She knew you and Noonie were cool.
No.
What ended up happening was Shari was live, and apparently Carrie texted Shari while she was live. When Shari came off the live, Shari called me and said, "What's going on with Carrie?" I said, "She's upset about the live I held regarding Rizzy. Give her a call." Anyway, go ahead, because everybody keeps forgetting that Carrie's the one that reaches out to everybody.
But then I called Carrie. So after I spoke to Nene, I was like, "You want me to talk?" She was like, "Yeah, call her, talk to her, see if you can smooth things."
Okay, that's girl talk.
No, that's true. Carrie is the one that's always in the middle. Because when the whole thing around striking my platform, after I got off, I hung up the phone with private and I called Carrie. I said, "Carrie, do you know anything about somebody striking my platform?" Nothing. And she said, "Nah, blah 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 blah." And we hung up. She called me back about 15 minutes later. Said, "Kev, you want to tell who do you think it was? Blah 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 blah. If you throw a name out there, blah blah." And so I threw a name off to throw off, first.
Thank you.
And she was like, "Nah." Nah, that's not it. And then I said private. She said, "Yeah, I had a conversation with private." She didn't say, striking the platform. She just said that she was gonna leave for a while and blah 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 blah. And so after I got off the phone with her, she calls private back and then tells private the conversation that me and her just had, and then calls me back and say, "Can private say she didn't say that to you?" I said, "Carrie, why the hell did you just call private and tell her the conversation that I just had with you when you called me asking me about the shit?" You called me asking me about the shit, asking me to throw a name out there, but then gonna call back and gonna call private back and then ask her about the very thing you just called me and asked me.
Now, one thing about a lie, you can't repeat it, but I have heard you say that last year. Those exact words. I have heard you say. I got it. You have said that you ain't switch it up either. So one thing about a lie, it's hard to remember a lie.
You forget a lie, you always remember the truth.
You'll forget a lie, but you always remember the truth. And you have said that a couple of times last year. I have heard you say that. And this is not unbiased. I don't have an allegiance to any of y'all. My issue with all of this, Kev, that I'm stuck on now is who in the bando is talking to the two of them and sending them information, because they said it's a real person and they are part of the bando, but they protecting that person because it's names and details and dates inside of that. And that person reached out to Carrie first. So
I put it out there in the bando. I said, I gave him a chance. I said, whoever in the bando it is, y'all better say something before they tell on your ass.
It's a snake in the grass. And let me tell you something. It's a snake in the grass, and the lawnmower's about to cut that shit. They finna tell it. And and that's the thing. And I believe them. I believe them when they say it's somebody in the bando, and it's somebody that's close in the bando too, that they don't really want to, because I feel that when they tell it, it's gonna unleash a lot of shit.
Look, I made the announcement tonight. I said, look, whichever one y'all it is, you might want to go out and get ahead of this and get out in front of this and be like, look, blah 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 blah, and let's have a conversation.
And they sent it to Carrie first. Carrie sent it to private. Private DM'd them separately. They sent it to Carrie. Carrie kind of like, she ain't really dive deep into it. Private then reached out to them directly, and they freeloaded and gave her information and gave her.
Tell my team bando, y'all about to be exposed. Who about to be exposed? I ain't about to be. Ain't nothing to expose over in this.
Yeah, the bando barely built. Shit, it sound like that bitch crumbling.
It shitting me. We strong. We bando strong in this motherfucker. Hell, we kept bando kept y'all entertained all goddamn night.
Well, technically, you shouldn't be saying bando because bando is owned by Noonie.
No, it's not. It's not. She said she withdrew it, but either way, she wouldn't have been able to trademark it. No way. Thank you very much. While y'all holding y'all nuts.
Well, you only got one nut to hold, so at least we got more than you.
So you heard.
So I heard, allegedly. Let me ask you next. Allegedly, you only juggling one ball.
That shit don't bother me. You know what
I'm saying? So allegedly, you only juggling one ball. So we ahead of the game. We got more nuts than we got more balls than you do, Kev. So shit, we
no problem. Yeah, no problem. Y'all truly have demonstrated that. Y'all have truly demonstrated.
Well, fuck you. Bye. Child, listen. I'm gonna dissect these damn messages and get down to the rooter and the tutor. Y'all, I'm going to bed. It's 2:17. Good night. Thank y'all for the taps, the shares, the DMs, the tea, the gifts, the battle, all those things in the truth trap house. Because when the truth comes out, it's gonna be ugly. And while y'all focusing on the vigilante stuff, it's in the messages. And I need to know who they are protecting. No shade to private, no shade to, I don't have a dog in this fight. This fell in my lap. I didn't ask for it. I ain't even gonna shake a tree like I normally do. But we here now. And guess what? I'm gonna be nosy. I'm gonna dive deep. And I'm gonna be reading all these messages private just sent me. I just got about 15 more screenshots. Some of them I can put up and some of them I can't. But I definitely am gonna respect the privacy as she has requested, because it was the request, and I'm going to respect that. She trusted me with the information. She came to me with it, solo dolo, and that's what I'm going to do before I even read them. But we didn't get all the way through all the messages, for real. But I asked her specifically, I said, can I put these out? Can I show them? You get what I'm saying? How am I supposed to handle this information? And she granted me permission. I wasn't going to put them out without permission. And when she sent me other messages, she said, don't, however so. So I'm going to be a woman of my word. No one, it'll never see the face of nobody else. So until tomorrow, I will see y'all later. Thank you. Have a good night. Susu live, y'all. And Susu was live with Never Stop Shari and Noonie on the panel. Scram, get over there. So I will see y'all later. Susu live, y'all. Live with Never Stop Shari. There.